Right now, Chicago City Council is weighing whether to commit another $70 million to the migrant crisis.
The debate in the Budget Committee centers on what happens if the city does not agree to spend that money. Political reporter Marianne Ahern is live for us at City Hall with the very latest. Marianne.
Good afternoon to all of you. For the past 2 hours, the Chicago City Council Budget Committee has been asking questions and also offering their take on whether this new $70 million, will it be the last time they're asked to do so this year?
They're going to continue to come. You got to vote red. We got to turn this state red, because if we don't, y'all are never going to stop giving money to a scam. This is a Ponzi scheme.
Chicago aldermen received an earful this afternoon from those who attended today's City Council Budget Committee. Aldermen were asked to approve not just the $70 million in new migrant funds, but also say yes to a separate state and federal grant of $48 million for the migrant crisis. There is clearly a divide.
Here we are, begging for more money when we don't have money for the people that's here, when we don't have money for after-school programs, we don't have money to help our kids get off the street.
The City Council vote is tied to an agreement with the state and county to share the migrant burden. Over the weekend, Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle telephoned aldermen directly, asking them to approve the $70 million.
I talked to people who are my colleagues in the City Council when I served there for almost 20 years. And shared with them that the county was prepared to step up, and the state, of course, and hopefully they would as well.
The reality is that it's much better for the city and for the state if we provide just basic humanitarian care for people who arrive here. And so we're attempting to do that.
The mayor's team did tell the aldermen today this $70 million million in funding that already they've given so far would be and should be the last time they come to the council this year. However, not everyone is so sure. Budget Committee has not yet voted at this hour. If it is approved, it would go to the full council on Wednesday. We, of course, are going to run back upstairs and find out whether or not they say yes or no. Reporting live from City Hall, Marianne Ahern, NBC 5 News.
All right, back to that ongoing debate. Thank you so much, Marianne.
And developing tonight, Mayor Brandon Johnson made it clear, even if some aldermen want to keep the Shotspotter technology, he is not changing his mind and plans to end the contract this fall. The mayor spoke to reporters following today's City Council meeting. Political reporter Marianne Ahern is live for us at City Hall with all of the details. Marianne.
Good evening. Well, there was a very big agenda for today's City Council meeting. Most of the major items the aldermen all punted on, so they're going to be back here Friday afternoon. The mayor himself made calls last night to aldermen, asking them not to approve a new proposal that would let the individual aldermen keep Shotspotter if they wanted it in their wards. That's the technology that alerts police when gunshots are fired. But it has had mixed results, and some see it as not effective. That vote, however, was delayed today.
There's no process by which you could govern through a la carte. This just doesn't exist. So I made my decision. Look, to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago, we have to do what works. As we wean ourselves off of tactics and strategies that have not produced the type of results that the people of Chicago are counting on, we extended the contract to give our community partners, the police department, our alders, an opportunity to come up and think through other forms of technology and other forms of public safety tactics that we can use to ultimately keep our community safe. So, you know, this effort, you know, that's being led. I do appreciate, you know, the spirit of it, but it does not have the legal standing.
Also, we have learned there is a new ballot initiative filed in Springfield to allow voters to recall the Chicago mayor. Currently in Illinois, only the governor can be recalled. There were similar proposals for Mayors Emanuel and Lightfoot that floated, but they also went nowhere.
It's some dude from the suburbs who's mad about the diversity and the formation in which we have put forward. You know, we've had mayors close schools. We have mayors who have shut down public housing. We have mayors who have woefully underfunded many of the public assets that we are working to establish and build. You know, so any individual that is somehow insulted, you know, by this progressive agenda that, quite frankly, is being led by one of the most diverse cabinets in the history of Chicago.
Also today, whether or not to approve $70 million more in migrant funding, that vote delayed. They'll be right back here, though, on Friday. Reporting live from City Hall, Marianne Ahern, NBC5 News.
No shortage of news at City Hall. Thank you so much, Marianne.
The Chicago City Council just approved $70 million more to fund the response to the migrant crisis. It's just one of several contentious issues the council debated this week with implications on city resources and public safety. Here's NBC5's Charlie Wojciechowski.
A divided city council took up two issues, both of them committing millions of dollars to subjects important to the mayor and the city's progressive caucus. The first, an additional $70 million for migrants to bring the city's contribution in line with that from the state and the county.
I'm not voting no because I don't like someone. I'm voting no because no one bothered to try to help me.
The taxpayers of the city of Chicago are about to get hit, and they're about to get hit hard. And they're going to get hit from all angles.
We need to pump the brakes on this bus before we go over the financial cliff. I don't want to hear about blaming some demon in Texas anymore. It's our responsibility. So even if this moves forward today, you can expect a lot more pushback on the expenditures.
We need to do better as a city managing our money. We definitely do. I think you've heard here today and from a lot of the public comment and from constituents alike about where's all this money going. I mean, the reality is, and I'm a person that will call a spade a spade. Look, we're paying Ritz-Carlton rates for Super 8 service.
We're talking about $70 million. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a $16.5 billion corporation.
The council approved the $70 million, then moved on to the bond. But there was concern about how the money would be spent.
I agree that we should repurpose revenue to support housing and economic development. That's a really good thing. However, we are being asked to sign a $1.25 billion check, and we just don't know what we're buying.
I'm voting for this.
The city council passed the $1.25 billion bond measure by a vote of 32 to 17, giving the mayor a big victory and the flexibility to pursue his agenda. At City Hall, Charlie Wojciechowski, NBC5 News.
Our thanks to Charlie.